everybody, this is Gilfy72, and I'm going to show you the preferred method for the singularity automation. This is part 3. So let's go ahead and get in here, say hi to Robot, and right here. So these are the two methods that I would recommend you using. The one that I'm going to be using is Project E. Definitely going to be the most effective method for this, I would say, and also the easiest to set up, just because the singularities, pretty much all of them, you can use during the Project E, except for Enderium. Enderium is the only one that you can't, it doesn't have an EMC value for. So I'll just really quickly show you. In here, the Project E system that I'm using is called the Power Flower. Sorry, I forgot for a second. Power Flower is basically just set up using the energy collectors, these energy condensers, and then these relays, like that. And pretty much what ends up happening is, if I break this right here, you'll go ahead and see that what this does is these produce EMC out of thin air. You want the MK3 ones, not the MK1 or MK2. This won't work. If you're in a compact machine, the MK1 and MK2 require basically sunlight or it to be nighttime. But these, it doesn't matter. This will then basically pull the EMC that this is generating into here, and then if you have an item in here, so for example we're in the coal one, it'll go ahead and produce coal in here. See, it's basically producing free coal out of thin air right here. And that's all you do to set up the Power Flower system. Again, it's just sort of like stick that there. There's an MK relay right there. And then just build it like that. And you just basically just surround an energy condenser and these, and then the collectors, and then just have some way to access the items and pull them out. So I'm using the cyclic item transfers and wireless transfer to this chest over here. And you'll see, unlike the early game methods, you'll see that there's a ton of backflow right here. So it only needs 10,000, but there's a huge amount of backflow because it's super slow. Quantum compressing is extremely slow. It's a long process. It isn't by any means quick, and it uses a bunch of energy each time. You can use in here, you'll see that I'm using these watches of flowing time. These things speed up time. So usually these power flows don't produce items that quickly, but these watches of flowing time have an effective radius of like 7 blocks in each direction, and it'll speed up the item production. It'll just speed up time, so it'll produce even faster. But you can use it on this, but you will go ahead and burn through energy extremely quick. I have a very good energy system, and I had like 6 of these set up just for one quantum compressor with watches of flowing time on it, and it could not keep up with the production. It produces extremely fast. So you can you go ahead and use the Project E system, but you're going to have, with these methods, there's going to be backflow, which in my opinion, there's nothing you can really do about that. It's fine, and it still produces a good amount of singularities, and you don't have to worry about these being deleted because of how the paradox box works. And then if you go in here, this is the final method that you can use for item production, or at least the second best one. Well, this is the best one, my bad. Is mystical agriculture. Probably a lot of people saw this coming. Mystical agriculture is the best when it comes to item production of a specific type, even with Project E, just because of the proportional amount of, if you use a watch of flowing time on the crop versus on the On the Power Flower, this just produces faster. So you basically just set up, this is the system I have set up, just a bunch of these hydrogels, which act as like a water source. The watches the flowing time. I have a sprinkler here, just it doesn't really do a whole lot right now, because the main system that is making these crops instantly grow is the watches the flowing time, speeding up the process, and then these growth crystals from Tiny Progression. You don't even need the higher tier ones. You can just use the first tier. And the watch of flowing time will speed up the amount that this produce. The watch of flowing time speeds up the growth crystals as well. So pretty much it's instant. They will grow instantly, and it goes very fast. So you can just go ahead and have the harvester set to area, but be careful when you do this, because if you have all the more than one harvester set up for area to harvest the entire area with a infinite instant growing system, it will overflow the system, and the harvesters won't be able to keep up and start spitting out items and can crash your game. One other thing with the mystical agriculture that you have to be careful about is the harvester. When you harvest these automatically, they will still, even though they won't drop the seeds, they'll still drop the fertilized essence. So just send it to a system that basically filters it. So I have this pumping into my enemy system here, and then the copper essence is going into an auto crafter and crafting into copper ingots. So if you know anything about how to set this up for item production, you probably already have a system, and if you've gotten there. But be careful with this. If you want to do the mystical agriculture, it gets extremely expensive very quick. Because even with mystical agriculture, if you want to go ahead and even go to Enderium, which is the one that you can't produce using Project E, it's very expensive. The amount of material that you need for it and how much you're going to be burning through it just to build something like this, it's crazy. It's going to cost a ton. I would say if I were you, my recommendation is definitely use the Power Flower system. And if you know how to use the copy paste gadget, I'm pretty sure this copy paste gadget works on the Power Flower system. You just have to change the item that it's condensing in the condenser, and it will, the condenser, and it will go ahead and produce that item. If we go into here, I'll go ahead and show you how you can do Enderium, which is the one that is a bit more annoying because it won't produce, it doesn't have an EMC value. But you can still make it pretty simply. Again, Power Flower system with the watches of flowing time. Going into here, you have one of those up there producing ender pearls. And it goes into a melter here, which then pumps into a fluid infuser, which I have this one producing the lead platinum alloy. When I first made this, the lead platinum alloy didn't have an EMC value. So I was using an alloy furnace to do the lead and the platinum together to get that, and then pump into here. You can just instead have a chest instead of this that creates the lead platinum. If you have one of those already, you can just do that. So simple. And again, it's just sort of more of a lot of work. It's not really too hard to really do. And then you come out here. And then all I'm doing is I'm just having, again, so you can see the ender chest. I'm having an ender chest designated for each singularity, and I'm going to wrap this whole area around with each kind of singularity, all pumping into this paradox box. So whenever I want prestige points, I just come over here, hit activate, and it starts producing prestige points like crazy. And you can see how crazy that is on the video that I showed of me taking it on my phone, of how fast that it was producing prestige points. It produced almost, I think it was produced over 250 prestige points when I did that, because I went ahead and managed to get this Project E adventure off of testing this with the singularities that I already have generated. This was using just a test system and Project E. So I just basically, that wasn't automated to a degree. I was using these into a quantum compressor and then just sticking, let's say, red matter blocks in here and then producing, let's say, iron on this side and then having it feed into quantum compressor. You can get a lot of singularities that way, but it's not by any means automated because it still requires your input to put in red matter blocks or something like that to give it enough EMC. But yeah, that's basically the gist for part 3. If you have any questions, leave it down in the comments. And if you have anything else that you want me to do as a tutorial on Sky Factory 4, I'll be more than happy to show you guys how to do it. I'm pretty much on the end game in this server. I'm just kind of like messing around, building like a huge futuristic tower and stuff like that. But right now, I pretty much have everything in this game automated, and I have a ton of stuff. So I can do pretty much anything in Sky Factory 4 if you guys want me to, so let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and hope you guys have a good day.